Hello everyone. Today we are going to see AI for industrial automation, and specifically I'm going to touch on the topic AI on the edge versus the cloud. So AI can be done at both on the cloud and at the edge, but what are the differences, what are the advantages is what we are going to see today. So to understand this, first we need to understand how really AI works in the industrial automation. So let us assume this factory floor. So when we want to do something with AI, the first step is to collect the data, and once we collect the data we have to do the AI learning part. And once you give the data to your AI model and the model gives you an inference, and the AI model gives you an inference, and based on the inference you would be able to take some actions. For example, predictive maintenance, anomaly detection, time series forecasting, or even machine vision. So these are some of the applications. So once you collect the data, and based on where your AI learning and AI inference happens will decide whether you are doing AI at the edge or AI at the cloud. So for example, if you're going to collect all your factory floor data, so let us assume that you are going to collect the data of motors speed and motors velocity V, and you want to see whether the motor is going to do the required operations perfectly. Maybe you want to do an anomaly detection model, and then you feed this data into your AI learning model, and this AI learning model is going to do the its work, and it's going to give you the inference, and based on that it is a good or bad, you can make your decisions based on it. But based on if this particular learning happens inside the factory floor, then it is called AI at the edge. And if so, based on where you're going to do your AI learning, for example, if you're going to do the AI learning and your AI inference in the edge, then it's AI at the edge. And if you're going to do the AI learning and AI inference in the cloud by pushing your data that you have collected on the data that you have collected, and if your collected data is pushed to the cloud and AI learning and AI inference happens to the cloud and it reverts back, then it's called AI at the. Now that we know the definitions of AI at the cloud and AI at the edge, now let us quickly see the difference, and also we can compare and contrast the features. For example, the location of processing for the cloud AI, it happens at the cloud, and for the edge AI, it happens inside the factory and there is no data that is leaving out. So all the processing happens inside the edge. Maybe it happens in your PLC or maybe on your some devices or on the sensor level itself. So for the latency of the cloud AI is higher because the data has to go to the cloud and it has to revert back. So for some kind of high speed transmissions or high speed decisions, this will not work. And for certain applications like where you have the data processing that is immense, and if the processing power needed is more, then for sure you need to push the data to the cloud. And also the scalability part becomes very easy in the cloud, but it is difficult in the edge because it is harder, because it is just on a box or a small device with very limited GPU and the processing power. And the connectivity requirements. So as we all know, when you have to push the data to the cloud, you would need maybe an MQTT based connection or client server based connections, and all this comes under a security risk, and also your data privacy also becomes a question when you want to push to the cloud. So if you have taken care and you know what you're doing, then cloud AI is good if your latency or connectivity requirement or the location of processing is okay for you. But in case if you're worried about your data privacy and if you want your data to be available on the local, then for sure edge AI is your solution. And yeah, the security is the data travels over network and the data here stays local. So this is the advantage of having the data being processed at the edge. So how does a good design would look like when you want to do an edge AI is the good of both worlds. So for example, sometimes you would need some data that needs to be highly secure, and you want it to process it in the local, and you want the latency to be lower, and also you want to do everything offline, and scalability is not an issue because you're just looking at the motor control data, or you're looking at the sensor data where the sensor level is low. Then you can Coligo's analyze feature, where everything that you are doing would happen inside the device itself on the analyze feature. And also, in the case where you want to scale and you want to do the AI processing at the cloud, Coligo also comes with the feature of expose, where you can easily push the data to the cloud using MQTT based connections, and you can avail all the features that is provided by AWS, Azure, Alibaba Cloud, keep it any kind of cloud service AI providers. You can avail all the things. So for having AI at the edge, we have the analyze feature, and for AI at the cloud, we have the expose functionality, on top of which you can build any kind of applications you want. So based on your priorities, security, scalability, connectivity requirement, latency, and location of processing, you could decide whether you want to do edge AI or you could do cloud AI. I hope this explanation was good. Please comment in your feedback and what you want to see in the next